For more, we can bring in Dr. Antoine Flahault, Director of the Institute of Global Health at the University of Geneva. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for speaking to us here on France 24. Now, we see that European states are looking to open up for the busy summer holiday season. Unlike last year, this time around, we have a vaccine to protect us from COVID-19. Have we vaccinated enough to open up?
In fact, opening up can be done when the tide is low, when the epidemiological situation is favorable, which is the case, which is becoming the case in most countries in Europe today. The trend is good. Most of the reproductive rate is below 1, if almost not in any states today. So in June, what we can foresee, if the trend continue like that, is that in combination with the vaccination, of course, it will be much safer this year than it was last year to open up.
You know, we are seeing, as you said, a lower trends, lower number of cases in Europe and, the developed world, the United States, the UK. Where we're not seeing good news coming from is Asia. Countries that had handled the pandemic well in the first wave are not doing well right now. I'm thinking of India, I'm thinking of Thailand. Is it because they didn't vaccinate enough? They thought that they had defeated COVID in a way?
First of all, I think we cannot mix India and Thailand or Japan. For sure, you're completely right that there is a strong pressure in Asia currently, but the pressure is not at the same level. Yeah. When in India, Indeed. It is a devastating wave. In Japan, for instance, which is now seems to take over control of its epidemic wave, the top of the hill was only 6,000 cases per day. In France, because it's a 126 million population country, it is exactly the same as 3,000 or 4,000 per day in France. That would be the low tide. So the top of the hill in Japan is a low tide in France. And in Thailand, the figures are, of course, worryingly climbing, but it's also very low figures in comparisons with what we know in Europe, even nowadays.
Dr. Flahault, because another reason that the cases in Thailand are climbing is because there are more and more cases being reported of this so-called Indian variant. And that is also worrying British authorities when they look at reopening their economy. So how, watchful should we be on this variant and worries over how efficient vaccines are in protecting against this variant?
I think it's a very good question because it is highly important not to forget this principle of the border control. We absolutely need that the health authorities in Europe take and tackle this any entry from variants and from any virus from abroad. I'm not saying that we should block the borders, but we should control them. We should ensure effective quarantines for all those who are coming back out of the Schengen space, which are coming back from at-risk countries. So it is absolutely clear that it is a key element of the safety of Europe, to protect the safety of Europe, to ensure that these borders are safe. And so we need absolutely, yes, to impose quarantines for those coming back from these countries.
Indeed. I agree with you because we do see, however, announcements made from member states like Spain saying they will open up their borders to fully vaccinated tourists. But unfortunately, Dr. Flahault, we're going to have to leave the conversation there. Thank you very much for speaking to us here on France 24.